When you look at her size-wise, you would think that an opposing coach would go, okay, let's put our biggest but athletic guard on her and shut her down, and she just rises and fires over them, is faster than them, and is more aggressive than them.
Absolutely, but really the big story has got to be the defense, the scoring defense of the Saints. St. Leo shooting 63%. They haven't pulled the trigger from beyond the arc very often, but they've made 4 of 8. Saints have to do a much better job defensively.
Yeah, Saints allowing a very high percentage shots.
Naaman, and the shot no good, was an air ball and out of bounds from Parker. So they try the long 2 ball from the post player up top, at the top of the key, and now the trap was there. However, the outlet pass is also there for the Lions.
Interesting, Naaman kind of filling in Jen Nurick's spot from last year in the first half, and definitely the start of the second half.
She guards Connolly out on the wing, picked up by Spencer. The Saints are in the zone. Steal by Shorty Spencer. Check that, it's picked up by Johnson. Missed there by Spencer. Shelby Lindsay had a one-on-one, instead dribbles out, misses. Rebound by Parker Naaman, who nearly throws it away. Lindsay wide open for 3. Nope, too much time to think about it. Treva Mason fouled hard from behind. And that will be
Lindsay
the second foul.
Really talked herself out of that 3-point shot. She was almost concerned with how wide open she was and hesitated. And when you hesitate, your shooting percentage goes down drastically.
That's Kishara Green on the foul.
Treva Mason getting her patented offensive rebound and putback attempt.
Yeah, Shelby Lindsay had really 2 offensive opportunities there. The miss by Shorty Spencer. She was right under the basket by the point guard, I believe, Guzman, the only one there. She has the size advantage. She could have maybe put it up there for a 2. And then, as you mentioned, just hesitated too long at the 3-point line. The miss there at the line, rebounded by the Saints, and a jump ball. No timeout called. It's going to be St. Leo basketball.
Saints defense did a very good job, and offensively the intensity was there, creating a lot of second chance opportunities. Just couldn't get anything to go so far.
Here's Gross. Offensive foul. Gross pushes off. Oh, no, check that. They're going to call it on the screen, I believe, of Connolly. Yeah. Connolly picks up the foul.
An illegal screen there, throwing out the hip.
Saints get the ball back. They trail by 10, 48-38. Spencer with the ball. Naaman at the top of the key, throws back to Spencer. She'll provide the screen. Spencer, pull up Jay, that's good.
Of course it is.
Some pure shooting from Shorty Spencer.
I don't know why she shot a layup on that fast break. She should have just pulled up for a 12-footer.
And a near steal there. She stomps the ground as she's frustrated she didn't get that cleanly. Knocks it out of bounds. She's got 25 points. Saints together only have 40.
And how many of them would you guess are on pull-up jumpers? At least 16.
Absolutely. I'd say 50% of her points have come off that. Gross. Fouled from behind by Shorty. Shorty couldn't stop in time. She ran out of runway. Contesting that one, Shorty Spencer will pick up her second foul. Foul number 2 for Shorty Spencer. Ball going to be inbounded on the far side by Chelsea Connolly, the senior from Morganton, North Carolina. She'll throw the ball in for St. Leo. Thrown way back to Guzman. Guzman guarded by Lindsay, Shelby Lindsay. Good defense there. Thrown off to Connolly. Trap set up top. Lindsay picks up Connolly on the layup. Maybe fouled by Lindsay, but no call. Missed the layup.
Got a piece of the basketball, so they allowed more body contact.
Spencer missing her first pull-up J in quite a while. I got to see the stats on that. And it went halfway down. Yeah, I got to see the stats on that. She was on a tremendous run, and Connolly.
I thought we were going to see an offensive foul.
Offensive foul or maybe a travel, but instead Treva Mason picking up the foul. And the coaching staff of the Saints just can't believe that one. That is number 3 on Treva Mason. After starting quietly, she's picked up 3 fouls late in the second half, and here now with 18 minutes left to go in the second half, or late in the first half, and now early in the second half is how I should have phrased that. Thrown in. Ball eventually gets down to their leading scorer, Green, and shot no good, rebounded by the Saints. Spencer off to Lindsay. Lindsay going to use the dribble. Spinning to her left. Fouled. Shot won't go. The reach in by Teresa Managrasso might have been unnecessary. However, that's not the foul. Instead, it's the body up by Green. That's 3 on Green.
Green did a really nice job offensively last possession with the dump off pass.
Lindsay at the line makes the first.
Saints are going to have to convert a lot from the free throw line this year, especially with the new hand checking rules. There will be a lot of one-and-one opportunities as well as two-shot opportunities. So if the Saints can cash in at the charity stripe at a pretty high mark, they'll be well off.
Shot up no good. Rebounded offensively by Johnson. Johnson back out to Shorty for three. Nearly a backwards 4-point play. Saints miss out on that one. Rebounded by Managrasso. Managrasso then bulls right over Shorty Spencer. And there's a bit of confusion between the refs trying to get straightened out.
The ball was poked out from behind by Shelby Lindsay.
And they're going to call it out of bounds. St. Leo ball.
Okay, and I believe that's
with no foul.
No foul. Shelby Lindsay poked the ball out of bounds. There might have been a charge on the continuation of the play, but the ball went out of bounds before that, so there is no charge.
Yeah, so they don't call the charge. They're trying to get clarification on the clock to see what the clock was before the ball was poked out of bounds, and they conclusively come up with 26 seconds left. Ball thrown in, and it's in the hands of the Saints. Here comes Letitia Johnson ahead to Spencer. Spencer loses the ball. Mason there to save it.
Pass a little bit behind her, unfortunately.
Saints with it still. Here's Letitia Johnson. Johnson looking for not a screen, but a pass to Naaman. Naaman back to Johnson. No one really aggressively calling for the ball or wanting to shoot. Shorty Spencer will shoot, no good. Shelby Lindsay fighting for the ball, dives in there. Wow, big turnover of bodies. However, St. Leo able to hold on. Foul on the shot. Letitia Johnson got all on the grill of Managrasso, and she will be called on the contact. Saints trailing by 7. It's 48-41, but Managrasso going to be at the line for 2.
Saints already with 3 fouls in the second half in the first 3 minutes. That's a number to watch.
You can call a dynamic duo, but the Saints really need a third piece of this offense to get going. They have 25 from Spencer, 9 from Lindsay, but beyond that, just minimal contributions.
Yeah, 7
3
points from the rest of the team.
3 points from Naaman and 2 from Johnson and Williams each. You're right, just 7 total.
And game plan-wise, Parker Naaman has filled in the Jen Nurek void, where she's going to play the point forward, get the ball in the high post, have to make some decisions. But what made Nurek so good at that is she knew exactly when to pass off, and she also had a couple of good go-to moves where she could get to the bucket.
Bad turnover there by Shorty Spencer. Throw over to Gross. Gross for the Lions has the ball.
That's an
and
offensive
she
foul.
Pushes Christina Brown out of the way. That's another foul on Gross. That's her second. Brown checks in here for the first time since the first half when she picked up 2 fouls.
And she's capable of putting in a couple 3-pointers. She's got a really good shooting stroke. Last year just couldn't get many to fall at all. Did have a really good showing in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, though.
Absolutely. Naaman will pull up on the J, looking like Shorty Spencer, but not making there. Kicks off to Lindsay, getting her own rebound. Lindsay for 3. Good. It's now a 6-point ball game.
Huge
Lions 50, Saints 48, yes, or 44.
Saints were struggling for points offensively. Shelby Lindsay with a contested 3-pointer.
Travel there by Williams, Chelsea Williams, and that turns it over. And now this game could get very close. Lions 50, Saints 44. And Shelby Lindsay cracking double digits. She's got 12 now.
Really just unforced sloppy errors from St. Leo. An offensive foul on a pretty good shot attempt and a travel on a wide open shot attempt.
Yeah, they had numbers on the fast break. Spencer off of the screen, can't lay that one in. Missing another layup, and the Lions going on the charge. Managrasso travels. Kind of lost the ball, you could say, going up, but the referees felt she had enough control that she gets called for steps. Checking out is Shorty Spencer with her big performance. Spencer with 25 points.
So now where does the scoring come from? Shelby Lindsay on the floor, capable of putting the ball in the bucket, but I'm sure St. Leo's aware of that, and they're going to pay extra attention to her with Spencer out of the game. So who is going to be the player to step up for the Saints?
Christina Brown, Nisi Brown, and Treva Mason, the 3 players out there who have yet to score. Let's see if they can contribute here. Shelby Lindsay with 12, and Parker Naaman has 3.
Nisi Brown, a little bit of a wild card. Nobody really knows what she's capable of.
Not a good pass there by Brown, and Christina Brown turns the ball over. Ball at the fingertips of Managrasso as she passes off and eventually get it down to Chelsea Williams, who knew she traveled and actually kind of maybe called it on herself. Yeah. The referee whistle was not there until she threw her hands up.
Referee probably was not going to blow the
I don't
whistle
think he
there.
would have.
Ruled that the ball was lost on the way up, and instead the body language for St. Leo kind of forces the call.
So another turnover, back-to-back there by Chelsea Williams. And the Saints will have the ball trailing by 4. It's 50-44. Saints opening up the 2013-2014 schedule with a very feisty opponent in the Lions of St. Leo University, and the Lions really having their way early on, leading 50-44. 15 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. Just a couple quick stats for you. The Lions have really made good on their free throw attempts. They're 80% from the line. The Saints are 65%. Three-point percentage, Lions have made 50% of their threes. The Saints just 29.4%. Field goal percentage, the Lions still shooting very good. It's 58.6%. Saints never really had a tremendous offensive shooting percentage last year. I know they shot well enough to win, but
they
defense
get up a
and
lot
rebounding.
more shots than their opponents, so
Absolutely.
they're going to shoot a lower percentage. They force a lot of turnovers and therefore shoot the ball more, so they don't need to have a great shooting percentage to win. They need to make shots when they matter. The three-pointer by Shelby Lindsay to cut this to a 6-point game, one of those shots that they absolutely needed.
Through the regular season, the Saints shot just 36.7%. That's pretty good, but any head coach would like a shooting percentage around the 40s. However, tonight, absolutely not there yet. Just 28% for the Saints in this first contest. Naaman. And that looked like a travel there, but no call as the Lions are able to come up with a steal. Naaman on the throwaway. Here comes another 2-on-1. Pull up Jay, rims around and goes down. Ball is good for Jackson. Check, that's Managrasso on the pull up Jay. Here comes Nisi Brown. Saints now trailing by 8, and Brown kicks it out of bounds. 15 minutes left to go, and the Saints in danger of going back down by double digits. They will insert their leading scorer, Shorty Spencer, in for Nisi Brown. Spencer comes in with her 25 points. And the Saints offense not just suffering from poor shooting, but there have been a number of those careless passes that have gone for turnovers. Jackson with the ball for the Lions. Higgins kicks out, looking for Managrasso for 3. Another favorable bounce as Managrasso gets the 3 ball. 55-44. It's an 11-point lead. Managrasso now with 9 in this contest. Spencer used the left-hand dribble. Pass fake, then throws off to Parker. Naaman on the turnaround. Jay, that's good. There's some points in the paint, I should say, for the Saints, as Naaman now has 5.
Steal to be had there for Christina Brown, just a step too late.
However, she tips that pass, still can't quite grab it. Guzman throws off to Higgins, a good 3-point shooter, and she makes it against the zone defense of the Saints.
Saints are not closing out on the shooters at all, and Coach Erica Lang-Montgomery wants to talk it over.
She's going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. 14 minutes and 7 seconds left to go. 30-second timeout as the Saints trail by 8. Check that, 12. Lions 58, Saints 46. Saints have done a good job getting offensive rebounds. They've outboarded St. Leo on the offensive glass 14-4, but getting pummeled on the defensive end 26-10. There's a lot of really good things you can talk about for the Lions, honestly. However, the only poor thing has been they've given up 10 steals to the Saints, but a lot of that was in the first half.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers for St. Leo, though, and that's keeping the Saints in this ball game despite their poor play, and the Saints are capable of going on a 12-0 run in a couple minutes because of the style of defense they play. They get a lot of high percentage shots in transition defense. So this game far from over. The Saints will need to force some tougher shots on the offensive end, a couple wide open 3-pointers in a row from the Lions.
Yeah. See what the Saints can do here, trailing by 12. It's 58-46. Saints will have the ball. Saints have 2 players in double digits. Shorty Spencer, her government name, of course, Willisha Spencer, the native of Brooklyn, prefers to go by Shorty. 25 points for her. She's got 3 assists, 3 steals, and 3 big rebounds, if you can believe it. Shelby Lindsay with her 12 points has 1 assist, 2 blocks, and 2 steals, along with her 5 rebounds. Spencer with the ball here. Those are your 2 leading scorers. Outside of that, the Saints are really looking for someone to step up big. Brown looking for a screen. Trying to dribble around Chelsea Williams. Takes her way out to the left. Shot up over Williams and off the glass and in. They'll take them any way they can get them, and Christina Brown puts in a trace.
Yeah, Banks staying open late tonight. I'm not sure if Christina Williams had planned on that one.
Christina making that one. Christina on Christina. Brown making it on Williams, and Jackson on the 2 ball. No good. Rebounded by Williams, and Williams puts it in. It's Chelsea Williams on the 2. Keeping distance, the Lions still leading by 11. However, Christina Brown putting in her first 3 of the game. See what she could do here. She's got the ball on the right wing. Jab step, hands off to Shorty. Shorty in the lane, contact big time. Ball goes in, but no bucket. They're going to count it on the floor as Higgins. No, check that. Guzman looked like she was about to tackle Spencer. Just stepped right in front of her.
Foul on the floor there. Tough break for the Saints. Would have likely been a 3-point play.
Naaman will throw in, finds Brown. Brown dribbles top, throws Spencer. Spencer at the top of the key. Inside to Mason. Mason out to Brown, will shoot the 3. No glass needed and no rim as it goes straight through the net for Christina Brown. 2 straight threes, and the Saints are trailing by 8. What a move by Managrasso. Managrasso making the bucket, and we have a timeout on the floor to clear up some.
I believe that's hair.
It looks like a hair band, but could be one of 2 things, yes. So, nonetheless, that comes off the floor, and we're ready to go. Shorty Spencer has the ball. Throwing off to Parker Naaman, and then is Shelby Lindsay. Lindsay looking for space to get it to Mason. The Lions have done a great job packing the paint. Naaman for the 2 ball, no good on the baseline here on the near side. Rebounded by Guzman, their point guard for the Lions. She brings it up. Higgins, a depth shooter, gets a closeout by Brown, and Brown steals the entry pass. It wasn't handled very well by Chelsea Williams, and Saints.
Smart play there by Brown. There was no numbers offensively, no need to force up a bad shot.
Throws it to Spencer as the Saints can reset the offense here with 20 seconds. And by so, they do by resetting Shorty Spencer, really. Mason on the putback. It's off the rim. Naaman on the putback. This time it's good, and Parker has found her way to 7 points in this contest. The Saints still trailing by 8. 12 minutes left to go. 62-54 Lions. Higgins has the ball. Lions need to hit something to stop a drought. And they do. A big 3. And that is a silencer for Managrasso.
Anytime the Saints are grabbing a little bit of momentum, a big shot is hit by the Lions. It's incredible.
Back up by 11, the Lions go. 65-54. Saints have the ball. Shelby Lindsay for 3. It's just a 1-step dribble. Shot no good. Mason forced the ball up. And on the ground, Treva Mason looked like she got it. I think they're calling timeout. Oh my goodness, the coach called timeout, but I don't think there was any possession that was had. Why didn't we have the baseline referee make that call? Instead, the referee in front of us gives credit to the coach for calling a timeout. The ball was on the ground. 65-54, Lions getting a break here as they lead by 11. All right, 11 minutes and 28 seconds left to go. Saints trailing St. Leo University. Flagler College 54, St. Leo 65. And as good as the Saints finished last year, they were picked higher in their preseason conference poll this year too. But I think Coach Ling Montgomery would know that being picked 3rd in your conference isn't really a big deal, especially if you remember how they started the season out last year.
Yeah, it's definitely a new position for the Saints to kind of be the hunted as opposed to coming in, teams not really thinking that highly of them. Now they're projected number 3 in the conference. Everybody's going to give them their best shot.
But they finished in the top of the conference in the tournament, losing in the semifinals. Poked away by Brown. There it is in Shorty Spencer's hands. Spencer, what can she do with it? Pump fake up and off the glass. Mason on the left hand puts it in. Treva Mason putting it in. The Saints wanted to set up the full court press. They didn't quite get it. However, they do slow down Guzman.
Smart job there by St. Leo, though, of hurrying even off the made shot down the floor.
Treva Mason called on the foul. Again, they set the small point guard Guzman up down low to set the block or the screen against Treva Mason, who runs right through it.
Again, though, a good break for the Saints as the open three-pointer had already gone through the net, but the foul before the shot attempt.
Shayla Williams will check in for Mason. Mason coming off, I believe, has 4 fouls. 4 fouls for Mason as she comes off. Here's Gross. Gross for the Lions. Throws back to Managrasso. Managrasso using the left-hand dribble. Guzman now for the shot. No good. Diving in. Gross able to grab it. However, can't hang on. Mano bringing it up the court. Off to Simone High, who will pull the trigger. That is good. Simone High didn't have very many threes last year, but this one very big. Brings her team within 6. 2 possession game.
Saints grabbing a little bit of momentum. This is about the time where St. Leo makes a big shot so far this game.
10 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, and it's now just a 6-point ball game. St. Leo, a lot of noise. You didn't get to hear that much last year, and what a big shot, as you mentioned, that time coming from Guzman.
Anytime the Saints get a little bit of momentum, it goes right back the other way.
3 ball was good. Here's Spencer to try and answer. Off the glass, no good, and it's a rebound by Managrasso.
And now a chance for St. Leo to erase the quick little run from the Saints.
It's a 9-point advantage. Guzman, guarded by Simone High. Into Gross. Gross has a huge size advantage against Shorty Spencer, who got to get that foul, really, honestly, as Gross listed at 5'11", going against a very generously listed 5'3" guard in Shorty Spencer.
Yeah, really good backdoor cut there from Gross and a good look from the top of the paint.
Gross from St. Anselm College, missing the first free throw, keeping it at a 9-point ball game. Out there for the Saints, Mano, High, Williams, Spencer, and Lindsay. Missed, no good. That's 0 for 2, trip there to the line. And what a good foul that was for Shorty Spencer. Into Shayla Williams, offensive foul.
Saints bench erupting, but I believe me and my colleague Kyle Larson here both saw from here that was a clear offensive foul.
That was an offensive foul. The only thing Coach Lang Montgomery has to argue about, and I think it's her argument, is Shayla Williams didn't have room to come down out of jumping to grab the pass. Nonetheless, established position was there by St. Leo. 68-59, and that is now a double-digit lead as they lead 70-59 after, I believe, that was put in by Green. Green, their leading scorer, has 13 points, and a quick whistle down low. We have a foul on Green. No, check that. Foul on Higgins on the shot.
Yeah, an arm check there, and Shorty Spencer going to get it in the act of shooting, so a chance here for a quick 2 points and keep this a 9-point game.
Saints had such a good year last year. They were picked to finish 3rd this year, getting a lot more respect. However, if you remember last year, it was a tough stretch. They were just 1 of 4 in the first 4 games, or I should say 1 and 3 in the first 4 games.
Yeah, they really got hot in conference play at the right time. I remember doing those non-conference games and wondering, man, I wonder how they're going to look in the conference. Peach Belt Conference is very tough, and they gelled at the right time, and now this year most of their key pieces coming back. Chemistry shouldn't be an issue.
Spencer makes good on both free throws. 70-60 is the score. 10-point ball game with 9 minutes to play. Saints trailing St. Leo. The Lions have the ball. Here's Managrasso. Just going to take on that double team, put the shot up, no good. Green, their leading scorer, on the putback, no. And wow, what a break. Shorty Spencer's back there to catch it as it deflected off of a foot. And the Saints do maintain possession. Spencer with the left-handed dribble, up and in, just blowing by Gross. They have Gross, Ashlyn Gross, a 5'11" forward guarding her.
Allie Mano's been wide open for 3 on back-to-back possessions. It may come down to she needs to make one as just a freshman in this game if St. Leo's going to leave her that wide open. And that's a travel.
Travel, feet are going there for Managrasso. Saints will get the ball on a traveling turnover. There's been a ton of turnovers like that here for St. Leo. That's something I'm sure Coach Nikki Jesse, the head coach for the Lions, would like to see cleaned up. However, can't be complaining too much when you're offensively performing so well other than the turnovers. Lindsay inside the arc. That's a 2-ball off the rim. No good. Rebounded by, I think that was Connolly. Yeah, Connolly coming away with it. 8-point game.
Saints lunging a little bit defensively here. They're going to get beat.
That's the body check there by, yep, that is Allie Mano. Mano, the sophomore, picking up the foul. It's going to be a, no, yeah, it is a 1-and-1 opportunity here as the Saints are now in the bonus. That's second foul on Mano. She just stepped in front of Guzman.
Yeah,
on the
not
dribble.
a lot of contact there, but that's just one of those calls that they're focusing more on this year. Now 2 big free throws coming up, or hopefully 1 big free throw coming up for St. Leo. They had an empty possession at the free throw line a couple possessions ago, and it's allowing the Saints to get back in this game. If they can cash in from the free throw line, they've got a pretty good lead in this one, and they're not turning the ball over.
As a team, though, they're shooting 70.6%, still very good at the free throw line, 12 of 17. However, those turnovers, 25 total turnovers for St. Leo, have really kept the Saints in it, as you mentioned. That free throw is good from Guzman. Guzman is 5 of 5 at the free throw line.
And she was 2 of 2 in their first game, so a perfect start to the season for her.
That is good also. What a performance. The only player to miss them has been Green, and she was their leading scorer until Guzman and Menegrasso have come alive here.
Again,
Here's Spencer.
Mano being left wide open for the 3.
Here in the deep near side corner. She won't take it. She'll dribble in instead and get fouled.
Really good job, though. The defense closed out nicely on her, and she took advantage of their momentum and drove the opposite way. A nice heady move there.
That's going to be a foul on Chelsea Williams, the big body down low. That's just her second foul in this one. Williams playing pretty well, though not able to duplicate her big performance back in 2010 that she had. Again, Chelsea Williams had 12 points, 13 rebounds, just 4 boards for Chelsea Williams. However, Williams is one of the 4 players who is perfect from the free throw line for St. Leo. So Mano will be at the line, I believe, for a 1-and-1 when we come back. Saints trailing here by 10.
I would imagine they would give that one to her in the act of shooting. I think. So
yeah, I believe you're
Mano
right.
here in her first real big minutes as a member of the Saints. Not really sure what to expect of her. She has a pretty good shooting stroke, judging from the way she shot in warm-ups. So hopefully she can cash in here from the free throw line and cut this to an 8-point game.
Head coach Nikki Jesse in her 3rd season. Trying to do much like what Coach Lang Montgomery is doing, trying to keep it going. Hasn't been an easy road early on for Coach Nikki Jesse. She's 3-0-2. We'll check that. Head coach's record overall last year, 7-9. Although they won't give us the coach's record, the program record at St. Leo is 302 and 598. Made one, missed one, did Mano, and they throw into Shayla Williams. Williams fighting her way up to the rack, can't get the shot to fall. Rebounded by the point guard Guzman.
Chance there to steal a 3-point possession.
Conley throws in, nicely defended by Spencer. She pokes it out, and Parker Neiman will check in for the Saints. She'll come in for Williams. Williams has 3 fouls but missing on that last one. Kick there by Shelby Lindsay.
Saints switching to a man-to-man look, if I remember our calls right. And they will.
Nicely tracked. Spencer stays in front of Managrasso. Then they throw up top to Conley, around to Guzman, right wing. Inside, too easy for Chelsea Williams. Pushed away from the freshman, Parker Naiman. Couldn't establish position there. And now Williams with 17 points for St. Leo. Hard left-hand shot from Shorty Spencer, and maybe she leaned into contact there to draw the foul.
Bailed out by a late foul call. Shorty Spencer does put the onus on the referee almost always to draw, to make a foul call, because she is a much smaller body, gets contacted hard and falls hard, and that kind of subconsciously forces a referee into a whistle more times than not.
And I think that was really the detriment of the Saints in the loss to North Georgia in the Peach Belt Conference tournament. Coach Harden, I remember adamantly pleading that Shorty Spencer was being fouled, and the referees on the floor were insisting she was the one instigating contact. So when she doesn't get the calls, the Saints suffer. Obviously, as you can see, she's got 28 points, now 29 in this contest. They need her to be productive, not only on the floor, but at the free throw line. Almost dragging the foot there was Guzman. She passes off for the assist. Nice bucket there by the Lions. They lead now by 12.
Really impressive body control to not travel there, and now time slipping away from the Saints, down 12 with 7 minutes to go. They need a run.
Naiman, the forward, all the way out away from the basket. Tough pass there. She somehow got it to Shelby Lindsay.
Shelby Lindsay's got that look in her eye like she wants to fire up a three-pointer.
She'll have to wait. Turnaround Jay, no good there from Shorty Spencer, 76-64. Lions leading the Saints with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, and getting ready to check back in will be Treva Mason with her 4 fouls.
St. Leo a little more patient offensively now, knowing that the clock is their friend.
Passed off to Connolly in the left wing. Connolly just lobs it into Williams, who's fouled really hard there by not only Naiman, who is fronting the post, but they get Simone High, who came down hard with the right hand.
Beautiful lob pass there from Connolly, though, dropping it in right over Parker Naiman.
Impressive. So at the line, again, she is so far 3 for 3. All of those have been and ones. This time, going to get 2 tries. She misses her first miss of the free throw line here in her first attempt of 2. She's now 3 of 4. Checking out will be Simone High. In will be Treva Mason. So the starters are back out on the floor, with the exception of Christina Brown being replaced by Allie Mano. Mano, originally from St. John's, Florida, went to Minot State University way up north, coming back home to her home county, and now she will check out and be replaced by Christina Brown. So the starters out there for the final 6 minutes and 20 seconds for Flagler College, and they trail by 13.
And Mano was left open a lot. If Christina Brown is left open, she will pull the trigger on a 3. Shelby Lindsay, as I thought, would shoot a 3.
And the ball tipped out of bounds by the Lions. Good job by Christina Brown just getting in there, preventing any clean grab by Chelsea Williams. And the Saints will have the ball. And as you mentioned, the Lions, I think it's really their scheme, is they kind of leave that backside pretty well open and condensing the defense down in the lane. Shorty with the 3 ball. That's pure from
Big
Shorty
time.
Spencer.
Big time contested 3 ball there from Shorty Spencer. Keeping the Saints relevant in this one. They're hanging around.
She's got 32 points, ladies and gentlemen. The Saints altogether have 67. Lions 77 as they lead by 10. Losing the dribble there was Managrasso. However, she's able to clean it up and throw it back up top. Jackson now over to Williams. Williams traveled. That's got to be the 4th on Williams.
Grabbing a little bit more momentum now if they can score on this possession again.
Not only need to score, but need to keep playing defense. As you said, the Lions have had an answer every time. Spencer smartly waiting to touch the ball, keeping some of the clock there preserved on the board. Naiman throws up top to Mason, looking to get it into Shelby Lindsay, who's posting up against Connolly. Brown into Lindsay. 14 on the shot clock. Turnaround Jay. Tough shot off the rim. One somehow on the rebound by Mason. Shot up is good by Treva. Treva Mason brings her team within 8.
Nice job there by Treva Mason, carving out some space and not immediately forcing up a tough shot.
Can the Saints play D? Here's Connolly. Lions leading by 8, 77-69. They've got the ball. Guzman guarded by Spencer, trying to turn the corner, fouled by Lindsay. Got around Shelby, or check that Shorty Spencer, but Shelby Lindsay prevented the shot from going in, but the Lions have been very good from the line. Guzman 3 of 4 today. Will shoot 2.
If the Lions can continue to shoot well from the free throw line, it's going to be very tough for the Saints to come back in this one. They're going to need to force some turnovers, and the full court press hasn't really been effective here in the second half of the second half.
Guzman makes the first free throw, bringing her Lions to 78. 9-point lead. Lions 78, Saints 69. Guzman will have another try. Higgins checking in for the Lions, a very good shooter. Higgins, Connolly, Guzman, and Menegrasso out there playing the guard spot, and they'll just have Green down low. Lions trying to get matched up here as the Saints have the ball and now trail by 10 after Guzman makes both free throws. 69 for the Saints, 79 for the Lions. Again, they have Parker and Amon up top. Spencer checked, and this is going to be a good bit of luck here for the Saints. That's 9 fouls. They're 1 away from the double bonus.
And Shorty Spencer, a very good free throw shooter.
I believe they called the foul on Green. I don't think Green was guarding Spencer on that last possession. Maybe Connolly.
They put it up on Connolly on the board.
Connolly, who has just 2 points, one of their best shooters coming into this contest, has only put up 2 points. She's got 4 fouls.
Had 17 points in their first game, 2 points tonight and 4 fouls. Who knows how effective she'll be down the stretch.
Spencer makes the first 9-point ball game, and the second one is good. Nothing but twine on the second one. It's an 8-point contest. Lions still leading. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Higgins has the ball. Lions guarded closely, and Spencer bodied up too much. You're not going to really get too many breaks from the referees by instigating contact. You might every once in a while get away with a reach-in, but not that.
Luckily,
Spencer picks up foul 4.
Luckily, I believe we're still in the 1-and-1. I think that's the 8th team foul, 9th team foul.
Yeah, that's going to be the last freebie there on the 1-and-1 for the Saints. Everything else is going to be double bonus from this point forward for both teams. First one's good for Higgins. Checking in, Letitia Johnson will check in for 34 points of the Saints offense. Shorty Spencer with her 34 points will check off with 4.5 minutes left to go. Player like that, I think you got to just let her ride. 4.5 minutes, maybe give her a breather and insert her again at least.
You really need to make a run here in the final 4.5 minutes, and I'm not sure where the offense is going to come from.
Johnson
Shorty
comes in.
Spencer getting ready to check back into the game.
Maybe just needing a little word with the coaches. Thrown into Brown. Brown steals. Nope. Check that. Brown has. And she throws the 3 ball up. No good. Thought she stole it away from Menegrasso, who had it, but Brown had it all the way. Treva on the putback is fouled. She'll get 2 free throws. Not a very pretty offensive possession, but going to get bailed out by the free throw line.
I don't love the move with Shorty Spencer. They're taking her out of the game to put her back in immediately when you're on offense, because now on that offensive possession, they ended up not killing the Saints. They're going to go to the charity stripe. But you're taking your best offensive weapon off the floor when you need points and then putting her back on the floor for a defensive possession now where she could pick up her 5th foul. And we've got 6 Saints on the floor. Okay. Parker Naaman going to check out.
Naaman will be out. They're trying to have as many shooters out there as they can. Shelby Lindsay, Treva Mason will probably play low in the post, and they'll have the guards Johnson, Spencer, and Christina Brown out around the arc. That is now 6 points for Treva Mason as she makes that free throw. Saints down by 8.
Letitia Johnson being too aggressive here defensively. She's going to pick up a foul.
Does so. I think the Saints could live with a foul, however, would prefer to have a turnover. They do have their best 4 guards out there, if you count Shelby Lindsay. Defensively, their best 4 guards. Maybe that's what they were going for, but just a little too aggressive there from Letitia Johnson.
Yeah, you could tell the whole way up the floor. A lot of hand checking going on. The referees weren't going to allow it.
Chachi Guzman rolls it around the rim and falls in. Guzman gets the first one, puts her Lions up by 9. Guzman with 18 points.
Yeah, she's played deceptively well tonight.
Now with 19, Lions leading by 10, 83-73.
And the Saints can't afford to trade buckets at this point in the game. They need to come up with defensive stops without fouling.
Hesitation 3, it's still in by Shorty Spencer. It seems like rhythm or not. She's going to put it in.
There's no other way to put it that she's the best player on the floor, and it's not even close.
37 points for Shorty Spencer.
Just undefendable. She's got hands in her face just knocking down long jumpers.
Spencer tied the mark for assists last year with 13, and I'm pretty sure she's about to break the record in scoring, at least her career record. She's got 37. Managrasso with 3 seconds trying to get rid of it. Passing really to no one, but there's a foul.
No,
what is this?
A foul or a kick ball. One referee on the far side of the court was saying kick ball.
15 seconds on the clock on kick ball.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what it is. I didn't see a foul call.
Yeah, 15 seconds on the kick ball. Yeah,
and
it looked like they were calling a foul, and there's no one out there with number 15. So obviously,
we've got a media timeout here, and the Saints trailing by 7 with 3.5 minutes or so to go in this game. They really need somebody to step up offensively besides Shorty Spencer, because I'm sure in this timeout, St. Leo's coming up with some way to get the ball out of her hands.
Lions 83, Saints 76. Well, there's a few questions as we approach the finality of this game. 83-76. First question is, can the Saints come back and make a miraculous comeback for a win? Second question is, can Shorty Spencer stay out on the floor with 4 fouls? And I think the last question is, can she score at least 2 points before all that happens and tie the scoring record set in 1991 by Heidi Nissen, or check that, Nissen, with 39 points. Ball in the hands of the Lions.
Saints doing a good job defensively on this possession of not lunging. And just as I say that, Christina Brown a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, had her hands on the hips of the ball carrier. It looked like that was Managrasso dribbling. She'll be shooting 2 because of the double bonus. That is the 3rd foul on Christina Brown. Shot is up and in. Another free throw made by the St. Leo Lions. The freebies are just going down every which way for the Lions. 78.6% as a team, and that one misses. Spencer gets the long rebound. She'll have a chance to tie the school record right here. I'm sure the Saints and Shorty Spencer would prefer a win. A 3-ball. No good. Rebounded by Connolly. Off to Guzman. Guzman going to slowly bring it up with 3 minutes left to go. And an 8-point lead. Guzman guarded by Mano. Now over here to Connolly. Connolly, stutter step, might have got away with it. She passed inside. Green on the deuce.
So again, it's back to a 10-point game. The Saints still looking to sustain that run.
Green with 15 points. Spencer throws off to Lindsay, left wing.
Interesting Mano in the game now for the Saints, not having played a lot of time with this team.
Pick and roll.
Wow.
They're going to count that bucket. As Treva Mason put it in, she was fouled. That looked like an NBA pick and roll with continuation for Treva Mason.
Yeah, because if there wasn't a foul, she definitely traveled. So, you know, a nice break for the Saints there at the NBA style call. Now Treva needs to cash in from the charity stripe.
Yeah, Treva getting a couple breaks there. The power dribble would have helped, but nonetheless, she gets a foul call.
The 2 rebounders in there now are Letitia Johnson and Allie Mano instead of Shelby Lindsay, who's a very good offensive rebounder.
Treva Mason, the shooter. Yeah, Treva Mason, the shooter, makes that one. It's a 7-point contest. Lions 86, Saints 79. And Mano guarding well against Guzman. Managrasso trying to find room. Eventually gets it up top to Higgins. Higgins has been dangerous. Higgins has 13 points. Here's Connolly. Connolly with 4 fouls. Blocked hard by Lindsay. Denied. Here comes Mano and the Saints. The whole crowd erupting there as Shorty Spencer to the lane. Shot up, no good. She'll have to tie the record at the free throw line. 37 points. She's looking for 38 and 39.
Shelby Lindsay with the shot attempt wasn't even in her face. She was trying to avoid having her shot blocked, and Shelby Lindsay punched it regardless. Incredibly athletic play there from Shelby Lindsay. So the Saints down 7 will go to the free throw line. Shorty Spencer with a chance to not only cut this to a 5-point game if both free throws are good, but also tie the school single game scoring record. She's sitting on 37 points right now, the record 39 by Heidi Nissen set in 1991.
Just so you know, Jamie Allenbaugh scored the Division II era record with 28 points. Shorty Spencer has smashed that by 9, 37. So regardless, in the Division II era record book, Shorty's up top. But the all-time Flagler scoring record is that by
and the first 10 minutes of this game. First 10 minutes of this game, Shorty Spencer had 1 point, correct?
That's correct. She missed her first 6 attempts, had a point going through the first 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
First free throw rimming out. Tough break for the Saints. They need this one to keep it a 2-possession game. Still 2:05 left, a little bit of time.
86-79 Lions leading. Spencer for the Saints at the line gets that bucket. She's got 38 of the 80. Almost gets the steal, but it's an easy Managrasso lay-in, and she puts it in, keeping the Lions up by 8 now. 1:57 left to go. Spencer, not going to wait for anyone, a 3-ball. She's got it, no, rims off. Looked like she had that one to go down. Here comes Managrasso.
Saints need to force a turnover this possession. They don't really have a lot of time to sit and wait.
8-point lead for the Lions and 1.5 to play. Guzman has the ball.
And St. Leo will not shoot this ball until there's 5 or less on the shot clock.
Managrasso, nicely played. They kick off to Connolly, who only has 2 points in the game. Off the rim, no good. Saints fighting for the rebound. It's going to be a foul on Guzman, who jumped over the back of Shelby Lindsay.
Now the Saints get a chance to score with that being a loose ball foul without taking any time off the clock. I'm not sure who was fouled, so who'll be going to the free throw line, but I think it was Shelby Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay looked like she had the ball. Guzman, really 50-50 call there as both players lunged for the ball, but Guzman didn't quite get enough ball, got more Shelby Lindsay, and that will be a foul on Guzman, her 3rd. No severe foul trouble for the Lions except for Connolly, who has 4, but she's only contributed 2 points. You look at the rest of the scorers, Guzman has 19.
And Shelby Lindsay can't get the first one.
Misses the first free throw, still an 8-point game. Managrasso has 17. Chelsea Williams, their forward, has 18 points, and a big 19 points coming from Aaron Higgins. Lindsay does get the second free throw. It's a 7-point game, a tip by Lindsay. However, Connolly able to get it. She's in the trap. And timeout is called off the ball by Guzman. Smartly done by Chachi Guzman, the sophomore point guard from Miami, Florida, as we were dangerously close, 3 seconds away from a backcourt violation.
And now I'm not sure how this is going to work in the women's game this year. Do they have 3 seconds to get across midcourt now?
It
or do
should
they have
be inbounded
a fresh
back there.
10?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure with the rule change how that's going to work. If it is 3 seconds to get across midcourt,
they're going to have to throw it up.
Yeah, the Saints are going to really be in good position here defensively. I'm not sure, though, how that rule works. A lot of new rules in women's college basketball this year.
Asking ye shall receive. Thanks to Sports Information Director John Jordan clarifying, yes, 3 seconds. That's all they get to bring it across the timeline. The timeout was called deep in the backcourt.
The possession was called underneath their own basket.
So they have 3 seconds just to bring it up roughly 45 feet.
Right. So a difficult situation here for St. Leo. And they've got a play called out of the timeout, hopefully to get somebody streaking up the floor, catch the ball in motion.
St. Leo setting up the ladder here as they expect the full court press to be on. Saints committing everyone forward. No one's going to be back protecting the rim. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that should be a backcourt violation, but it's not called as the ball is thrown over the timeline just in time for Managrasso. Barely got away with it if they did. Here's Guzman. Back to Managrasso. And they're going to try and kill all 7 seconds that remain on the shot clock. Managrasso to the lane. That is going to be a travel as she stepped around Treva. I was expecting Treva to take a flop there. Instead, they get the travel call against St. Leo.
Not a bad possession for St. Leo, though. They kill 30 seconds. And now the Saints really need to force the issue offensively.
50 seconds and a 7-point deficit. Spencer and the Saints have the ball here. Spencer wants to take the ball. Left hand, blocked. Oh, that was all ball, but Connolly gets called on her 5th foul. That's going to be 5 on Chelsea Connolly, and that's a tough break.
And now a quick timeout for the substitution as you get 30 seconds to pick your substitute. Connolly coming out of the game is big, though, because she is a very good ball handler for them, and you know the Saints are coming with a full court press. Also, side story, though a less important side story, is Shorty Spencer going to break the scoring record. She's 1 away from tying. If she makes both to have a 40-point night, that'll be the school record.
Yeah, back in 1991, Heidi Nissen put up 39 buckets and 21 rebounds.
So Shorty has now tied the record as
against,
the first one goes
against
in.
Edward Waters back in 1991. Big day for Heidi Nissen, and what a big day for Shorty Spencer. 39 points. She ties the record. Now she breaks the record. 40 points of the 83 for Flagler College coming from the minute Shorty Spencer. 40 seconds left to go. Saints still trailing by 5. Need a lot of things to go right here with just 30 seconds. And Mano, I'm sure she wasn't trying to foul, but I think the Saints will take that one. Foul by Allie Mano.
I'm not sure what the plan was defensively there for the Saints, because if you're going to foul right away, I mean, I think they should have fouled right away. Down 5, kind of need to force the issue here and hope for a couple misses, but that's also not the player you want to foul. Chachi Guzman, a very good free throw shooter, having a good night.
Guzman, big at the line, continues that streak, making that one and putting her Lions up by 6. 2-possession game. This next free throw will be huge as there's only 35 seconds left to go. As a team, they're still shooting 76.7% from the line.
I would assume it was not an intentional foul from the Saints. We've got a
lane violation on Guzman, the shooter, I guess, as she stepped over the line. So now a 6-point game, 2-possession ball game. Spencer's shot up is in, and it's now 4 points with 27 seconds left to go. They need a foul, and Mason grabs. That is her 4th. No, check, that'll be
that. I believe
the
that's
5th foul.
5 on Treva Mason.
Treva Mason will have to check out. She had 9 points. Treva Mason will sit down.
Going to the free throw line, 3 of 4 tonight, but she is a very good shooter. Like to foul her rather than Guzman, who has not missed on the season. And a good job by Treva Mason to foul right away, not allowing a lot of time to go off the clock. Saints do need to hope for some misses as they're shooting 2s at the other end and not trading 3s for free throws.
Treva Mason exits the game. She has 9 points, 8 rebounds. All 8 rebounds, of course, offensive rebounds. Shot is good from Managrasso, the transfer from St. Peter's College, and a senior.
Coach Erica Lang Montgomery wants to talk strategy here, and I think now's about the time, if this free throw is made, that you've got to shoot the 3-point bucket. If this shot is missed, you leave the opportunity to go for the 2 and keep extending the game time-wise. But if they can get a quick 3-pointer, that's ideal.
And we'll announce Shorty Spencer's 40 points, 42 points to be specific. However, I think maybe after the game it'd feel better if the Saints were leading.
Interesting move by our sports information director, John Jordan, to liven up the crowd here with 25 seconds left. And I believe that was the last timeout called by the Saints as well. Another important side note, if they get trapped, they're out of timeouts, so they really need to be careful with the basketball.
Yeah, neither squad with a timeout remaining.
Well, that's big as well then, with no timeouts for St. Leo. A quick trap from the Saints. I'm not sure which way the possession arrow is going, but we could see a jump ball situation here.
Managrasso tabbed as the newcomer of the year in preseason, missing the free throw for the Sunshine State Conference. Here comes Shorty Spencer, kicks off to Shelby Lindsay, guarded by the big body of Chelsea Williams. Christina Brown, someone needs to get the shot off quick. 15 seconds left to go. Spencer to the lane, sees the opening, and makes the deuce. It's a 3-point ball game with 12 seconds. Saints going to try and foul Guzman. 9.1 seconds remaining. they'll put Guzman at the line. However, it took too much time to get that shot up.
If you're going to get a two-pointer on that possession, you need to do it quickly. A lot of standing around there. It looked like they were just hoping that somebody was going to be wide open for three, and I'm sure that was the last thing St. Leo was going to allow.
What a strategy by head coach Nikki Jesse to put the tallest player, Chelsea Williams, 6 feet, against Shelby Lindsay, who's listed at 5'11". Shelby Lindsay, a guard out there in the wing, guarded by the forward, taking away any three-point opportunity she had.
Now Guzman at the free throw line is pretty much automatic unless she commits a lane violation.
And Guzman doesn't. She makes the free throw. She's got 22 points in this contest. 7 seconds left to go, a 5-point deficit. Spencer puts up the three ball off the rim, no good. Shelby Lindsay makes it. 1.7 seconds. They need a steal and a bucket right now, and they're not going to get it. The foul was called with time on the clock, but that will be the ball game. 92-89 after a huge lead that St. Leo had in the first half. I believe it was a 13-point lead that St. Leo had. Saints had never led except for that first minute where they had a 7-0 run. And St. Leo had it all the way. The Flagler Saints could not quite claw back.